it doesn't mean they all go well, because with respect is also acceptance. You have to accept as much as you respect. You have to sit down and say, okay, I need to respect this guy, even when probably I earn more, even when probably I feel like he has a bigger part to play. And you just give him his respect as a man. When he says something, don't refute it. Have a discussion later about how you feel about it. Now that's respecting and accepting. Because people differ. We grew up in different backgrounds, and these are some of the things that very many people take lightly, but they can be damaging to a relationship. I want to look at potential challenges of intimacy. Okay? One of the potential challenges I can shout out is mismatched needs. Take an example. If one of us craves physical intimacy more than the other, it can lead to frustration and resentment. I mean, you're a physical touch guy, and the lady is more of gifts. So every time you come back home, you're more connotated to hugging, you're more connotated to sitting and cuddling, and the other person is not feeling like they are very much appreciated, and they're not diving so much into their love language. So it can be heartbreaking. It can be, it can be confusing. Not even heartbreaking, but confusing. Because you start to feel unappreciated. While you're not really much anticipated to be unappreciated, but you just feel like there's an appreciation. And these things can actually create distance. Okay? Disconnection. Sometimes your dreams set apart. Sometimes people change and they grow. And they change from the original script. that can really create friction. Look at it like this. A lack of physical touch can sometimes lead to feelings of emotional distance and disconnection. Okay? This distance makes you feel like you no longer love each other, makes you feel alone. And when someone feels alone, they seek people who are willing to welcome them, which can create a distance in the relationship. And this is all because you're not really appreciating the other person. Look at trust. Usually when trust is broken, rebuilding it is 4 or 5 times the effort. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes someone to know that we're in this for the long haul. Because if you're in this for the long haul, even as much as it's difficult, a step at a time. These are things you can't inevitably ignore. Because breaking trust, or sometimes if there's some erosion of trust, it's normal. It's not something that's out of the ordinary. It's something that's normal. Let me give an example. In cases where someone feels they don't trust you anymore, they'll refrain from communicating, they'll refrain from shared goals, they'll start doing things alone. And of course, when you start doing things alone, you invite the outside world. And we know what the invitation of the outside world is. It brings friction in the relationship. It brings arguments in the relationship. It brings invaluation in the relationship. So, I'm going to give you some of the important things to consider. It's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. No, it's not a one-size-fits-all. What works somewhere else may not necessarily work in your relationship. What actually works in your relationship is communication and understanding what works. Through creating intimacy, through intellectually talking, through communication, okay? One individual's needs vary. We all came from different backgrounds. We are different in nature. So because you understand the other individual's needs, you sow a seed of participating and uplifting someone's needs with the hope that they're going to see that gesture in a kind matter for them to also respond and replicate. People often have different expectations. Even in intimacy, you have different expectations. You came into this relationship believing that this guy is a physical touch guy, and then you realize he's a gift guy. You have to adapt, And if you don't have the ability to adapt, of course it's going to hurt your relationship. We talked about communication, key factor in any type of intimacy. Because communication is getting to know the other person. And how to get to know the other person? By talking. And these are some of the things that are a conclusion that a relationship can absolutely survive only when there is intimacy. Because when there is lack of intimacy, it creates distance. And if that distance prolongs, it creates doubts. People start to think and wonder, why am I even in the relationship in the first place? So it will require conscious effort of building, maintaining, and strong emotional connections through open communications and through mutual agreements. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about intimacy? What do you think about a relationship and intimacy? From my point of view, I don't think a relationship can survive without intimacy. It can go on, but it dies inside. You can still stay together, you can still stay married, but it dies. The fire and the zeal and the energy to go out and live for each other will be lost. But if you have a different opinion, you know our socials are Stream UG Radio on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. But also, you can get us on our WhatsApp, which is +256 76 78 64 228. But also, you can send us an email on info@streamugradio.com. Let's listen to some music from Fik Fameka, Zolitan, Victor Ruse, Creamsoft, Maroon 5, and let's just get to see what comes in next.
Back right after these.
The Namasagali Alumni Association proudly presents the Sagali Agape Fundraiser, happening on 5th September 2025.